Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Save Our Seas Foundation Distinguished Speaker Series. We're so happy to have you. My name is Lance. I am the Director of Sustainability at the Museum of Discovery and Science in beautiful South Florida. Tonight, we are bringing you another amazing speaker, shark researcher all the way from Africa tonight. To talk to us about threatened species there. But first, before I introduce them, we want to thank the Save Our Seas Foundation for making the whole series possible. You can check out the whole series on the Museum of Discovery and Science YouTube channel. You can see years of content there, and this season's content as well is there as well. Like and subscribe so that way you stay up to date when we post new videos. If you ever find yourself in South Florida, we'd love to see you at our wonderful museum. This is an image of it, and it's a really fun place to come. And our mission there is to connect people to inspiring science. We do that every day through 4 sort of like strategic pillars of education. Everything we do is focused on physical science education, early childhood education, health and wellness education, but also environmental sustainability. That's what we're bringing you tonight. Talking about environmental sustainability with ocean conservation and research. So I would now like to welcome our guest speaker, our distinguished speaker tonight. Dr. Houangninan Midinoudewa is a fisheries biologist from the Republic of Benin and coordinator of the Early Career Ocean Professionals Network in his country. Born in Porto Novo, he first discovered his love for the ocean, during a Boy Scout excursion at the age of 8, a moment that sparked a lifelong fascination with marine life. Inspired by stories of Jacques Cousteau and guided by teachers who emphasized environmental stewardship, he pursued degrees in both law and environmental science, ultimately earning a master's degree in applied hydrobiology, marine biology, and public law, as well as a professional degree in environmental science from the Catholic University of West Africa. Dr. Midinoudewa is a research focuses on sharks and rays of the Gulf of Guinea, particularly those landed at Benin's ports. He has served as an associate researcher at the Fisheries and Oceanographic Research Institute of Benin, and has a research and teaching assistant at the Wetlands Research Laboratory. His work has supported the creation of Benin's first marine protected areas and contributed to conservation initiatives with the United Nations Development Program. And currently, congratulations, completed his PhD and is leading efforts to develop Benin's first red list of sharks, integrating science and community engagement to advance the protection of marine ecosystems. Emmanuel, welcome. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you, Lance. Thank you. I'm good. How about you? Hope you are
I'm
doing
doing
well.
great. Now we're doing great here. We're happy to have you coming all the way from Benin tonight. And it's quite late your time. I know. Thank you again for staying up so late. You're 5 hours ahead of us, so you're coming to us from the future. Thank you again.
Yeah,
Well,
you're welcome.
like I said, we're happy to have you. Well, go ahead and you can share your screen. I know you have quite a bit to share with us about your research and how Save Our Seas is involved in that. While you're doing that, I'll
Okay.
remind our audience that you can ask questions tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to put them into the chat, and we will ask them on your behalf. Okay.
Yeah, can you give me access
Yeah.
to,
Let's see. One sec.
can you allow me to share my screen?
Uh-huh.
Good. Let me give it a try.
All right, should be good now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you
I
see my
can,
slides?
yep, hear and see you perfectly well.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, Thank you for having me this evening, tonight. It's 11 p.m. on my side and 6 on your own there, and it's really nice to be with you guys. So yeah. First of all, let me say thank you. I'm really grateful to Save Our Sea Foundation for funding this project I've conducted. It's about 15 years I have been working on sharks and rays, and this is really a transformative opportunity, a transformative uh, opportunity that has been given me by Save Our Sea Foundation, and for that I'm really grateful. And tonight I'm going to take you through this project that we call a red list for of Benin sharks. So here is the content I'm going to take you through. So we discuss from where I started from. We talk about the sharks, their life story, and the project, and what has been the challenges, the success, and the way forward. So here we are. As Les introduced me a few minutes ago, so I'm fishery biologist and PhD in biological oceanography. So I'm coming from a French-speaking country and moving to English-speaking country. So you may be surprised with some pronunciation that might sound more much French than English. So bear with me.
That's okay. We're a museum in South Florida. We have quite a thriving French speaking population and Creole speaking population here.
Wow, nice. So I'm coming from this small country that's I say small in size, but really big in terms of how to do things. And um uh, here it is, the red
Mhm.
country just there, neighbor of the Nigeria and Togo, and a little bit further Ghana, where I schooled for the last 5 years. And yeah, and everything started at this place, this small place, the picture that you see on your right. This is the harbor, the artisanal fishery harbor of Benin. And so in 2019, I was introduced there for the first time by my supervisor, who has been the one throughout since the last 15 years we met. And everything started there. I have learning from the fishermen, the fisherwomen, the fishmongers, and so many guys, so many nice guys. And I need to add that one because what I've learned so far from them is much better than what I've learned from the classroom, from the laboratories. And this is really amazing. When I have the opportunity to go back to them, I still learn from them. So my country is not too big, as I said, but we have 125 kilometers square, not square, 125 kilometers a coastline, which encompasses 5 major communities along the coast. And along that one, you can see there's a small square blue, just somewhere here. Let me quickly use my pointer. Uh,
We could see your mouse if you want to just use your mouse. That works too.
Oh, perfect, perfect, good. So this is one of the marine protected area we have in the country.
Hmm.
And on the left, I didn't show it, but we have another one just down here where I'm hovering the mouse. So, and the most important marine protected area is located on this side. So based on that, I decided to conduct my project. But before that, um, I have to say it. Sorry, a minute. What is going on here? Anyway, okay. So before that, since I'm fishery biologist, I have to talk about a little bit about the fishery in my country. So the fishery contributes up to 2.42% of the GDP. Compared to other country, this is really small, but we use it as one of our key resources. And the country has 746 units as artisanal fisheries and who operates beach seine, person, bottom set net, drift gill net. But we do have what we call the semi-industrial fishery. Semi-industrial fishery is in between the artisanal and the industrial one. But the industrials are those vessels getting licensed to fish in the country, but they don't land in the country. They
Hmm.
rather land in Ghana or in Cote d'Ivoire, far away. So this evening, the data I will be sharing with you might be a little bit hampered because it might not give you the full overview of what the situation in the country is. But still, it stands and gives more insight into the current situation of the country. Please, Lance, is my slide moving there, please?
It has not advanced yet. No.
Just a minute. I don't know what changed here.
You can try
Okay,
or clicking, or will it work if you just click?
let me reshare the screen. Yeah, it's still shared. Um, okay. Hmm. Sorry, don't know why it's.
No worries.
Oh, good, good. Oh, I thought it was.
We're still on the maritime fisheries in Benin slide. But
Okay.
there it
Now
goes.
it's moving. Good, thanks. So now let's come back to the business, the sharks. So as I said, I have been studying sharks since the last 15 years, since 2010. And from the very beginning, it was not easy at all because I was alone and I needed to get supervisors or a mentor that take me throughout. And I'm really grateful for the one who has been there since the last 15 years and the others that I've met along the way. And they took me through what is sharks, what are sharks. And so I was taught the first thing that when I'm talking about sharks to introduce people into what the terms sharks cover.
Mhm.
So broadly, when we talk about sharks, so people they see directly the great white shark. They might see also the whale shark. But we have to keep in mind that, first of all, when we talk about sharks, It's it encompasses everything that has a cartilaginous as a bone. So you can see on my screen here, we have a first group, this composed of rays and chimera and saw shark. Please,
Hmm.
saw sharks are not the same as the sawfish. Sawfish are part of the ray. We come back on it later. So, and this group plus this group forms what popularly we call sharks. But really, in the reality, sharks is like only this group. The goblin, the cookie cutter, the leopard sharks, the great white, the hammer, the whale sharks, the salmon sharks. Those ones are the real sharks. So
Hmm.
they have a form that looks like um um a gun or something like a gun that can be used to, and, and that's why we use the term fusiform. So in the water, they can just go through into the water and they can go quickly. So basically, that is what we call sharks. Oh, I did Luther's cake. I didn't know that's your favorite.
Everyone likes
Good.
cookie cutter shark, right?
So now that we know what is, so now that we know what is sharks, let's look into their life, how they have evolved all over throughout the years, the era. So we can quickly see on this figure that I'm sharing with you. I took this one from this beautiful books. I love The Sharks of the World, a complete guide by David Ebert, Mark Dando, and Sarah Fuller, published in 2021. From the last 444 millions of years, we have seen sharks moving, evolving in the water until now that we see, not now, but the last 66 millions of years, we see the the ancestors of the current shark that we have in our waters. And look, just have a look down, a little bit down here. We can see that the rays have evolved a little bit late after this, not a little bit, but just we were around hundreds somewhere here when the rays and skates started evolving. So as we can see, they have been there before the human beings. They have been evolving. They have been witnessing so many things. And we can see the first massive extinction. We have seen it. Uh, and later, they have seen it, sorry. They have seen the second. They have seen, I think currently we are taking them to the third or the fourth. I can't even correctly remember which of the extension we are taking the the sharks and the red through currently. And that is really sad that human being that just come on earth a few minutes ago want to drive away completely uh, sharks that have been there before us, that have there before the dinosaurs. And as you can see down there, sharks have been there before the dinosaurs. That is really sad. But
Yeah,
this
it's
will
interesting when you
not,
think
yeah,
about the history of sharks that one of my favorite facts is that they're older than trees, right? So
yeah,
they've
yeah,
been
they are
on,
really older than food.
which is really interesting. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Please keep going.
thanks. So now that we know how sharks have been evolving, how old they are, because they have seen so many things, and we have this species of shark that we call the Greenland sharks. No, the Greenland sharks that can live up to 400 years, 4 centuries. So imagine you have a species like that who have seen the First World War, the Second World War, and who have seen so many things going on, who have seen when Christopher Columbus discovered
Mm,
America or whatever it is. So you can imagine how sharks can be um, kind of a mirror of how our society, how our environment has been moving, have been evolving. So we can see all those that thing. But that does not keep them moving because they have to move to adapt to the environment. So there come the reproduction style. And the reproduction style will make the difference between them and make the difference between the environment where they will live. And as you can see here, I'm sharing with you how sharks have evolved when we look at their reproduction. And we can see we have 5 types of reproduction, which has its pro and cons because it's not easy to be a shark. Those laying eggs, those having a placenta viviparity as a human, and those that one is much more related to the Calcarinidae family sharks. The yolk only viviparity, so they have juvenile offspring in which rely on the yolk, this a small sac that contains the nutrient for them for a while, and that after resolves, and they can continue their life. As others, we have viviparity with uterine milk. So there are feeds inside the uterus of the mother, and that is really interesting looking at the way that these organisms, these species have evolved and show whatever we see on the land, they are all showing us that kind of life adaptation, evolution. Uh, Now, talking of my project that has been funded by Save Our Sea Foundation. So the initial title, or I will say the long title of the project is Diversity of Shark in Benin's Marine Waters, Metric to Measuring MPS Health. So, um, you know, as I said, as I said, um, Benin currently have 2 marine protected areas, and those MPAs needs to be protected as on because on the paper they have been created, but physically on the land or maybe operationally they have not yet been uh, well managed. So we need to know first of all what we have there, how to manage them, and how to set the rule, how to set everything that we need for the future we want for the next generation. So, and as you mentioned it from the introduction, uh, you said I've contributed to the designation of those areas. So, this is a continuation of the work I have been doing. And so focusing on sharks, I want to
mm,
use them um, as an indicator of the if these areas are really operational, if these areas are really efficient. So that's why I set this project. And this project focuses on, I mean, to have 3 axes. The first one is about the conservation. So I just want to keep going on my work. Uh, and the second one is about the awareness. So we need to bring population communities, fishery communities there so that we have a participatory management of those areas instead of having um, a top-down strategy as management strategy.
Emmanuel, can you hear us? I think we lost him for a second, guys. We'll give him a few moments. Oh, the joys. Can you hear us? You're muted now. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you.
Lance, can you hear me?
Yes.
So sorry.
No worries.
So sorry.
I know
The
how the internet
Okay,
is not
let me
reliable in
reshare
all
my.
parts of the world, so it's okay. No big deal. Sometimes our internet here gives out too. So yeah.
Hmm. Okay, just a minute. I'm going to reshare my screen.
Yeah, you were talking about the three. We lost you at awareness. The awareness came up and you started talking about that, and then we lost you.
Yeah, can you see it?
I'm seeing the presenter view. I can see like your notes and everything that go along with it.
Oh, can you see it moving, please?
Yeah, it's moving, but it's the presenter view instead of the full screen.
Oh, okay, okay, good. Just few minutes. Hmm, I will not. Um, hmm.
You got right. We can see it now.
Good, good. So, no, so now the third branch of this study is the research. So it goes with evolving the population into the scientific research we are conducting. So we base on the local ecological knowledge of the species and other knowledge they have of the environment. We want to set a certain number of rule, I will say a rule, not a rule as a punishment, but a way of managing those areas.
Hmm. Guidelines, right? To go
Yeah,
by.
guideline. Yeah. So, the specific objective of the project are just three. The first one is to carry out a comprehensive assessment of the landed fishes. So this is everything that comes in as a shark or rays, and we take it into account. The second objective is to establish a long-lasting species-specific data collection and capacity building. This is a long-term objective, even though we have started with it. That really takes time to train the stakeholders, but we are still on it. And the third specific objective is to carry out fisher interview and stakeholders education. And so you can see for each of the specific objective, we have a sub-specific objective that we are going to develop and to get our final point. So the local context of the project is that 20 years back, 20 years back, we were really great. We were really grateful to this man who is a pioneer, I will say. in shark studies in the country, but he didn't study the sharks. He carried out just a small project that was looking at the social economical aspects of the sharks in the country, but he didn't go deeper. And the second point is that currently Benin is supporting uh, the the registration, I mean, the listing of certain species of sharks on the CITES Appendix 2. And for a country that is supporting something like that, where there is no management plan for those species, is somewhat weird because you don't know what you have, but you want to protect them. Though by the precautionary approach, this is the best way to go. But at least we have to know what is that. And over the last 15 years, I have witnessed the decline of the landings
And
because you can
just,
see, I saw.
no, I was going to say, just for our audience, can you explain a little bit on what CITES is? I know Benin is a party to CITES. It's an international treaty, is essentially surrounding banning the sale of sharks internationally, right?
No, a CITES is the convention that, um, I mean, that covers, I will say like that, the trade of any endangered species.
Right.
Mm. So this is a convention that is ratified by many countries. I
Right.
don't know if USA is part of it, but I think so.
Yeah, it
And
is. Yes.
oh, good. So CITES, this is a convention that every country want to be part of to protect its resources, not only the oceanic resources, the shark, the fish, no, even the land. I think initially CITES focused on the land, the wood, and other
Mm,
wild animals. So later on, they moved to the fish because the sharks, because initially sharks were not considered as part of the wild animal. For them, it's
mm,
just fish. But now it has moved to that side, and this is this is regulated.
right. Thank you.
So, yeah, you're welcome. And now, uh, uh, per one of the informal discussion I was having with fishers, I was told, if you see shark swimming, shark gliding, be sure that close you may have the type of fish that you are looking for. So for them, sharks is an indicator of the presence of a certain species they have gone out for. So when they cast their net, they will for sure get the species that they are looking for, even though sharks are not primarily the target. So when I mean sharks, please here, I'm talking about both the race sharks and the race. So this is the national contest on which we stand to conduct this project. And the project started in 2024 with an opening up ceremony, I will say inception, that took place on the 14th of, no, on 23rd, I think, 23rd of July, but it's a week after the celebration of the Shark Awareness Day. So we started with the project on that on that note, and we gather um, stakeholders, fishers, regulators, policy makers, everybody that has something to do with the fish, not only the sharks, but with the fish, because definitely fish sellers, fishmongers are the ones selling the sharks and the rays. So all have been gathered, and we discuss the project. We introduce them to the project. We introduce the project to them, and they accepted to join us on the revolution. I will say it like that because that is the first time we are involving them in the search process. Most of the time, what happens is that, as I said, that is a top-down strategy that conduct to the regulation. I mean,
Mhm.
because most of they are not much involved from the very beginning. That makes things really tough when it's come to the enforcement. So we had to involve them, and they were really happy to join us on the project. And as you can see during the project and the first day, we introduced them to the tools that we will be using during the project, and we introduced them to the CITES, the CITES regulation. When there will be the CITES convention will be enforced on, when they need to declare to the custom, to the fishery directorate, the kind of species they have caught, they have been selling. And to make those kind of work easier, we introduce them to the Siren app. The Siren app, you may have heard it from my colleague from Cameroon, Gofran and Co. Uh,
That's right.
this is app.
Yes.
Mm. So I think Siren app have been used throughout this project, and it has been really helpful. Sometimes you are not on field and that you get pictures of what has been learned, and that really make the work much more better than few years ago. And along the project, we carry out survey. This survey consisted gathering socioeconomic data, the kind of species they catch for the men, the kind of species they sell for the ladies, the fishmongers, and what are the drivers behind the fact that they are exploiting sharks and ray. So as you can see, this is a questionnaire that has been developed and deployed using the Kobo Collect tool, and we embarked the pictures of the species that we think they might have seen uh, in during the business and the activities. So, and we also collected biological data, taking the lengths, the various lengths that can be taken, the sex, the maturity. As you can see on this small species here, this is juvenile. Uh, we we have collected data in terms of the sex, the maturity stage, and we also collected clip of the tissue for the genetics analysis that we come few months ahead. And we also collected the vertebra for the age. So we needed to know the age of these sharks. This is not yet done, but it will be done. So as mentioned, we use the Siren app.
Mhm. And
So
just for clarity, giving the fishers in those communities a survey on what they're catching, and then the specimens that you showed us, though those are
yeah,
specimens that are at the fish market for people to consume, right? Because sharks
yes,
are a
yeah,
really important protein for lots of coastal communities. Um, and
yeah.
so you're getting that data from what's already there, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But let me quickly add this one. In my country, people don't consume sharks like that. This is
Okay.
um, it's not common. It's not common. Most of the use that is is made of the sharks are smoked and sold out of the country, not in the country, not in the area where sharks are landed, are transformed. No, these are export outside, not far away, but just to the interland countries, the local countries,
Sure.
where they need protein instead of eating meats, cow meat, beef, and all. They want also to taste the fish. So that is it.
That's interesting.
So yeah. Mm. So during the project, we were able to discuss with 56 fishers. Fishers is fishermen and fish women or fishmongers. So, and you can see on this graph, we have more men than female because this activity is more or less related to the man, not to the ladies. So ladies are just fishmongers, and there are few working on the sharks and ray because this costs a lot. I mean, the investment into sharks and ray fishery is much higher than investing in other kind of fish. And because it requires a certain quality of net, and it requires a certain quality of boat if they want to go for it.
Mm.
And uh, uh, this really consume a lot in terms of money, in terms of human resources. Now, looking at the status of elasmobranchs in the marine fishery, sorry, this is in French and this graph is in French. It has been done by one of my students, so I'm just taking it and use it. Um, uh, for the vast majority, sharks are bycatch. Again, sharks, I'm talking about sharks and ray here. The sharks are bycatches for the vast majorities. They don't target sharks. As I told you, when you see shark around, you may for sure have the kind of species that you've gone out for. So
Mhm.
the sharks might end it into the net. So that's why you can see this high number. But there are few guys who really target the sharks. These are the targets. So when they go out only for sharks, not for other kind of fishes. So that is it. Now using the Siren app, we were able to see the kind of species that have landed. Even though we have also been going to the field to check on what is landed, but we can see here is the top 9 or top 10, I think top 10, something like that, of the species that are landed. And you can see the daisy stingray. This is a species living close to the shore and is quickly fished by uh, the fishermen. And mostly this is a bycatch species. Why you have the black chin guitarfish, I will show you much more on those kind of those species, which also comes into the second position. And you can see this is a target species, not a bycatch. Is a real target species. And we see other species. But most of these species I'm showing you are rays, not sharks. Because sharks, they need a certain type of a net. This is called a DGN, drifting gill net. But this is no longer admitted in the country. It's forbidden because of the conflict with the megafauna, whales, sea
Mhm.
turtles, and other kind of big species living, mammal living in the sea. So this is forbidden in the country. So they are no longer using those that kind of net to fish them, but they are rather using the hook and line for it. So so what are the species we have seen so far in the country? I'm sharing with you. I think here we should have around 14 or something like that
Mhm.
species of sharks in the country. with the status on the IUCN red lists. And we only have one that is data deficient because this species is a deep sea shark and it's rarely fished. Though they fish it, but it's rarely fished. You may get maybe three in the year.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't happen frequently. Uh, but other sharks here, you can see either the red and the yellow, those listed as a vulnerable, those listed as a critically endangered, and those listed as endangered are really fished every day, not in a huge number, as I said, because a few years ago, they can spend just 16 hours out and come with 20 individuals of sharks. But now, today, they can spend 3 days at sea and just come back with only one. This is
Hmm.
really, yeah, that shows how the current situation is for the sharks and ray in the country. Though these are migratory species, but the question still stands, to dare migrate, I mean, after a certain moment from the country, we will be working on that time. This is the, I mean, next kind of project we are working on.
Hmm.
The species of race that we have in the country, you can see none of them is data deficient. Uh, they have all been evaluated, assessed by the IUCN, and they fall into the endangered category. Endangered category. But you can see this one, the top, this look like a torpedo here down there, is a least concern because this species is not a species that is consumed in the country. It's rather used for the rituals. It's
Hmm.
used for um, when they want to set an altar for a certain kind of divinity or deity in the country. It's used for it, and that's why most of the fisher, when they fish it, they throw it away. Since there is no demand for it, no need of bringing it back. So we rarely see, I mean, this species in the landing. But as for the remaining one, yeah, we see them frequently.
Hmm.
But looking at the mental race here, the one on top here, the one down here, these ones are the oceanic species that are fished once in a while also. So these are not common, but for the others, these are common in the landing site.
Hmm.
What are the composition? So when you look at it, the composition is really in favor of the small one, the small race, the 40 trigon species. We have two species of the 40 trigon in the country, but so far we have not yet fully identified the species because they were similar in terms of features, and so we are still working on that. But as you can see, we have this the black chin guitarfish. Uh, we have the 40 trigon, which is composed of the daisy stingray and the pearl stingray in the country. We have the how they call it, the small tooth stingray, Ipanus bridis. Uh, and those three are the one dominating the land in the country. Even though we have the sharks, and the most landed sharks is the silky shark, the Carcarium falciformis. The blue shark also is landed. So those are the most landed, and these are really present in the world. Is a cosmopolitan sharks. So now let's talk about the way that we are setting the red list. As I'm a fishery biologist, okay, good, perfect. I will quickly go through. As a fishery biology, I'm using the data from the biologists, and the most available data is are the length of the species that we have. So, using them, I just work on the three major landed species in the country, which are the 43 species. And as you can see, I just want to take you through directly to the what the data are saying. So as you can see, the Z here is saying the total mortality. And this one is a combination of the natural and fishing mortality. And you can see the natural is 0.24 per year, while the mortality per fishery is 1.21. And
Mm.
when you compute the exploitation rate, it's 0.84, which is far beyond the one that is accepted 0.5. So 0. On the graph, it should be here, somewhere here. But we are completely far away, and we are somewhere here, which means that we are currently over exploiting the species in the country. And this is a small rate um, that give birth maximum to one or two specimen of the ray is what I've seen so far in the country. And now let's look at the maximum fishing effort that can be put so that we can keep the the stock at the good level. This is 0.26. 0.26. Why we are fishing at 121, which means that we are, I mean, 4 times taking more what we can take that, and the stock can still support it. And that is
Mm.
really dangerous for the stock that we have in the country. Uh, we go to the second species, the black chin guitarfish. This species inhabits the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic side. Uh, and his case is similar to what we have seen previously, but a little bit better because we are fishing at 43% of the maximum fishing that I mean, the maximum effort that can be input into the fishery. And but even at that level, the stock is on the verge of not collapsing, but we have to work on that to get the things better and not the stock to collapse.
Mm.
Going to the third one. The third one, this is a species that has been said is just located in my country, Nigeria and Cameroon, but now they have seen it on top here in Senegal. Are those population connected? That should be researched. So let's look at his status. So the current status is we have an overpressure on this species because we are taking uh, more young than we should take. And that does not allow the species to go quickly, I mean, to grow and to reach the right size that can be really useful for the stocks even though even though it seems that we are fishing a little bit lower than the zero 0.5 that is advised, but we are moving somewhere that will not allow this stock, I mean, to stand.
Mhm.
So I know this is the time is moving, and so I have to go quickly. So, in terms of the impact, in terms of that, in terms of communication, in terms of conservation, we were really grateful to give talks during some gathering. Here, this is some partnership that we started with the minorities in shark science.
Mhm.
This is American-based organization, but it has a branch in Africa, so we were able to partner with them. On top here, we gave a talk, not only a talk, but this is a webinar. No, not a webinar, a seminar where we taught the fishermen about the sharks and reef, and
Mm.
also how to collect data and how they can help us to use those data usefully. They can give us the right kind of data that we need. And we taught them how to fish responsibly because there is a certain need to fish perfectly. As I showed you, we are fishing down the stock and we need to maintain the stock at a certain level. Down here, I was able to give a talk during the pre-COP. The pre-COP allows because in the next 15, no, 50 days, sorry, there will be a COP I can't remember the country, Asia, Asian country, I think so. So where they will discuss the current um, inscription or whatever it is for the next the species. So I gave a talk on the sharks and ray of the West Africa and showed them what is the current situation. And this
Mm.
was few weeks ago with the um, WCS guys and other guys. So in the country, we were able to publish two magazines for the kids, and we were able to reach out to reach I think we were around 900 students, two, one on the race and the second one on the sharks. Sorry,
Mm.
has been published in French because we are in a French speaking country. And so we have done so many grounds here, but we do not have much time to share much more. But what I'm really grateful for is these three faces that you are seeing here. This is the next generation of shark scientists in my country, and I'm really grateful for them because from the very beginning, it was not really easy to get them on, but they had decided to join the adventure and they really got hooked. And the first two you see, these guys and this lady they have recently defended their thesis. This one undergrad student, but while this one is graduate student. So she will also be defending very soon her thesis. Those theses are part of the project, so we were able to get them on and to help them to go ahead and to get much more data for us. So I really I really wish to show you a thank you slide, but most of the time I don't like to show thank you because I prefer to say it directly. So thank you for listening to me and sorry for any issue, any inconvenience
Oh, that's
caused
okay.
during the talk. Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Of course, thank you. It sounds like
Yeah,
it sounds like you're doing groundbreaking work. I mean, and I find it fascinating that such little, the numbers of sharks and rays being caught.
yeah,
Uh, it doesn't take a lot, right, to affect these populations. You're showing that through your research that even small numbers being caught can have a huge impact on their
yeah,
populations. Um, so that's a really interesting aspect, and
yeah,
I'm sure the people and all the fishers that you're working with, that's really useful information for them, because
yeah,
especially if they're with pole and line out there, they can be a little more cautious, right? Because they know
yeah,
one or two makes a big difference, right? Catching those things. So that's really
Mhm.
interesting. And thanks for
Yeah.
showing pictures of the future. That's awesome. I know that's a big part of what you do. Early career oceans professionals network, right? Um, and
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
the next generation of shark researchers and just conservationists in general is great. So
Mm.
kudos to you, man. It's a really cool project. Um, it seems like
Thank you.
well, you already have made a huge difference in your country with marine protected areas, but this is just adding to that, right? Um, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thanks. I guess my only question for you is, what do you have planned next, and how can people stay in touch with you? I know that this research is ongoing, but what are you thinking of doing next?
Yeah. Yeah. For next plan, we have collected up to 600 samples of rays and sharks in the country. So the next point is to analyze them, to look
Yeah,
at the genome of how they are related to other population in the region,
sure.
because we are working with other colleagues also in the region. So we want to know if there is a certain connectivity between
Mm,
the population that we have in the region. Also looking at the age of the specimen that we were able to collect throughout this project. So that is
yeah.
it. And the last one is to identify the areas that are really important for those species in the country. So
Uh,
we can maybe extend the 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 marine protected areas to those areas, and that we support the species.
Yeah, we've had the pleasure of interviewing quite a few shark researchers from the western coast of Africa in this
Yeah.
series this year and last year as well. We've AMCO, the African Marine Conservation Organization, and Gofran, we interviewed her a few weeks ago, actually, and got her
Yeah.
update from Cameroon. In 2 weeks, we're interviewing Laura Fola Matthews from
Oh,
Nigeria. So
yeah.
we're covering the whole coast, and
Yeah.
it's really interesting. And I think the Save Our Seas Foundation has recognized like that there's a
Yeah.
data gap, right? And
Yeah.
professionals like you are out there working hard to fill
Mm.
this information and provide great background for these protected areas and areas to be protected, right? There's plenty
Yes.
of
Yeah.
coastline that is still stands that could be protected. And with more data, just makes it an even better case for that. So, well, thank you again for being part of our series. How can our guests stay in touch if they want to learn more? Where can they follow you?
Yeah, to follow me just on LinkedIn, you look for Benin Marine Conservation Club, which is a club of ocean enthusiast people.
Yeah,
We are working on sharks and rays, seagrasses, coral reef. So this you can just look for us on LinkedIn, and perfect. You can send us on hi and we reply.
great. All right. Well, fantastic. We'll keep track and check back
Yeah,
in with how things are going.
yeah.
Um, for those of you that are still sticking with us, you can join us next time. Um, like I said, in a few weeks, November 6th, 6 p.m. to 7 Eastern, we will be speaking with Laura Fuller Matthews, a researcher at the Nigerian Institute for Oceanography and Marine Research, talking about hammerhead sharks in Nigeria. You can go to the Museum of Discovery and Science website, mods.org/STEM Learning Series, and you can register to attend that distinguished speaker series. Thanks again to the Save Our Seas Foundation for sponsoring the whole series and providing such awesome support to researchers such as me and Emmanuel across the world, and to our museum to spread that message. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.